crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. My name is G, and today we're going to create a lattice split card. This is a fantastic card that's very easy to make, but really makes a wow statement. So let's head down to the crafting table and let me show you what that looks like. Now, here is the lattice card. Do you see how we have the lattice right here on the front? You open it up, and we have a card inside. So that is what we're going to make today. And we are going to use 3 different stamp sets. We're using the Queen Bee, beautiful bee. We're using Quiet Meadow for this thinking of you sentiment. And we're also using Lighting the Way. We're going to pick up some of these branches right here to add some beautiful images. So let's go ahead and cut our base card. Now, this base card is a little different than other people's. We are going to take a full sheet of cardstock. That is 8.5 by 11. And we are going to score it at 4 1/4 on the short side. And then we're going to turn it the long way and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. Now, this will create the same card that you saw. Instead of having to put 2 cards together, a lot of people are making this, but they're adding 2 cards. All we need to do is cut this top rectangle. Now, you can see the score lines right here and crossways. So all we're going to do is put this back into our trimmer and we're going to trim away this top left rectangle. So we know this is at 4 1/4, so let's go ahead and just put it at 4 1/4. Get our cutting blade up at the top and we're going to bring it down to right there. Right there. Now we're going to turn it sideways, put this at 5 1/2. Bring it up, and we're going to stop right here. And you know when to stop when you can pull out this piece of paper. And there we have it. Now you can keep this for another project. Let me show you how to fold this really cute lattice card. So this is going to fold down. We're going to get our bone folder. Give it a good crease, and then this folds in right on that score line. Now, there's a little trick to this to make sure that it folds over and it doesn't buckle like this. All you need to do is trim off a little bit right here. Now, you can do that with a pair of scissors. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and trim off like 1/8 of an inch. And now you can see when you fold this over, it folds completely flat. That's just a little tip that you'll want to make sure and do on your card so that you have a really nice flat fold. And go ahead and just give it a good crease. Now the next thing we want to do is take this top flap, we want to put it in our trimmer, and we want to cut it at 3 1/4. So let's bring back in our trimmer, and let's put this at 3 1/4. The score line is right over here, and we're just going to cut it. So now we have just a little bitty flap. Now, you're going to take this right here, leave it in your trimmer, and we're going to cut 5 pieces that are 1/2 inch pieces. So, we're just going to put it at the 1/2 inch, cut once, twice, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to take this piece right here. It's a little bit bigger and it's going to be the front panel to our lattice. We're just going to cut it in half. And if I were you, I would just go ahead and eyeball it to where you can see that it's about half. I'm going to line it up right there because we want to make sure it's straight. And we're just going to slice. And there we have it. Look at those even pieces. Now I'm going to put these over here and I'm going to keep these right here. Now we can put up our trimmer. Now let's bring in our card. I'm going to open it just like this and I'm going to grab some painter's tape. Now ours is blue, they also have purple, they have different colors of painter's tape. You can also use washi tape for this, but this is just so that we can get our panels really straight. So I would recommend that you go ahead and you just put your fingers on it to get some oil to remove some of that stickiness. And we're going to lay it straight because we need the sticky side up. But we're going to go ahead and close our flap just like this because we need to line up our bottom lattice right here. So go ahead and grab one of those strips. Now, you can see that this pops up. So grab a weight, grab something that you can use to go ahead and just hold that down, just like that. Grab one of your lattice strips and we're going to line it up perfectly right on the bottom. And that's going to be a guide. And now we're just going to start from the top. We're going to drop it a little more than an eighth. But this does make it easy to where you can lift it up if you need to. I think I need to lift this one up just a little. Go ahead and push it down. Make sure they're pushed down. And there we have our lattice really straight. Now we are going to adhere this to the front of these panels. But we like to go ahead and have things spaced evenly. So this is the way we do it. We simply place it right here on the edge, and then I'm going to put some glue dots right on the left side. And you need just a small glue dot. So let's keep this lined up right here. And let's just put our glue dots on our lattice. Just a little bitty glue dot. And now we want to center this right in the center of those glue dots. Put a little bit right here. And there we have it. Now you want to make sure your glue doesn't squish out. That's why you're just putting a little dot. Let's go ahead and line this up right here. Let's get our glue dots again. And just barely put a little dot. We're going to pick this up and put this strip right in the center of those dots. Okay. Now we want this to dry, so we're going to go ahead and put it to the side and we're going to start working on our images. So let that dry. And now I'm going to bring in some paper to stamp our bee and our beautiful flowers that we're going to add to the front of this. We have our bee right here in our Stamparatus. And the reason we're going to do that is because I want it to be a dark, rich bee. Now the other thing, I'm going to use alcohol markers. So you want to make sure that you use a water-based ink. So I'm going to use Memento for that. And if you've ever wondered when to use StazOn and when to use Memento, check out our YouTube channel. We have a fantastic short that goes over that exactly. But let's go ahead and just tap, tap, tap. And you don't have to get it dark the first time because we're going to stamp it several times, right? Look at that. Beautifully stamped, has these beautiful flowers in it. We're going to bring in our Poppy Parade and we are going to color that heart. It is so cute. So let's go ahead and get that colored. Now this does have some leaves on it, so we're going to bring in this Parakeet Party just to bring in some light colors and just get those leaves colored. And now we're going to bring in some more Poppy Parade for those beautiful flowers. And because we're using Memento, I'm going over the image, but it's not smearing. Now I'm going to go ahead and color these flowers down here. Bring in a little more of that green Parakeet Party. Now look at this. It's kind of dull and I want it to be shiny. So there's several things you can do to get it to be shiny. You can bring in your Nouveau drops and you can add it to your bee. Now I'm going to show you a bee that I have done that to in just a moment. But let's say you don't have any Nouveau drops. Another technique is to take some shipping tape, go ahead and take your strip and just place it over your image and cut it out. And now look at your shine. It shines right up. Now, here's the one with the Nouveau drops. And of course, it's a little shinier. But you can make them both shiny depending on what you use. You don't have the Nouveau, go ahead and use your shipping tape to get that done. But we're going to use our Nouveau drops for this one. Now I'm going to stamp some of our beautiful flowers that we have from those stamp sets. And we got the stamp set bundle because it also gave us the dies to cut out. So here is this beautiful stamp that we have. We're going to stamp it in shaded spruce. So tap, tap, tap. And what I like to do to give it some additional colors, once again, I'm going to bring in that Poppy Parade. That's a theme, right? And because we've stamped in Memento, we can use our alcohol markers. And I'm just going over the flowers. Just to make them pop just a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to bring in our parakeet party again, and we're just going over these leaves to brighten them up just a little bit. Now you're going to use your die to cut these out, but it really just brightens this up. And look at that. Really makes it pop. Just adding some color. Now I went ahead and I cut out our flowers just like the ones that I just colored. Look how pretty those are. We also have some additional leaves that we're going to use. And we have this cute little bee. Look at him. He is a 2-layer bee. So we did the background in Cajun Craze and we did the overlay in black. Now I think we have let this dry long enough. Now I will tell you that when you open this up, you want to make sure and hold your lattice as you pull it, just so nothing moves. And like I said, you can use washi tape or you can use painter's tape, and you can save this piece of tape. So look at that. Now we need to cut off the bottom. So just take your scissors and snip. Now the next thing I want to do is show you the piece of paper that we're going to cut to go right here. And I wanted it to be yellow because it's bright and cheery. And so we are cutting this piece of paper 4 by 3.5. And we are going to add it right here on the inside so that when you shut this, you can see some yellow right there. I just think it makes it so pretty. And now we need to decide where we're going to put our flowers. Now, the other thing you need to decide is where are you going to stamp your sentiment. You can put a label on this if you want, but I think it looks really pretty to stamp it right here. So I've already selected Thinking of You, and I'm just going to lay this flat, and I'm going to pick a dark color to stamp it in, and I'm going to stamp in Night of Navy. And I'm just going to stamp it right here because that helps me position my images. So now we can put right here, just kind of looking where we're going to position our leaves. I think I'll put one right here. Just kind of set it under like this. So let's go ahead and just put some glue drops right here on this lattice. No, I'm going to put it right here on the plant. Making sure that no glue gets on these empty spaces right here. Now we have another one. And I think I might just put it up here just a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Go ahead, just grab a little bit of glue. And now I'm going to set these leaves up on dimensionals. You want to make sure that you put it right here on the lattice though. So let's see exactly where we want it. We want it right here. So we need a piece right there, right here, right there. Okay, now we want to bring in our beautiful bee, and we're going to set it up on dimensionals. Now, you could always come in with some speckles right here. That would be nice to add, but we're just going to add him on some dimensionals. So here is the outside of our card. Look at that. Look at the shine on that bee. That Nouveau drop just really adds shine to your item. Now what we want to do is open this up, and let's go ahead and get some leaves right here. Now you want to make sure that you put this right behind this other image. That way you won't be able to see it. So we're going to just add this right here. And I don't want to add any more height to the card. So another tip is just to go ahead and use glue, because you want it to shut. And we know it's about right here. Making sure, yes. Now I can slip this under, put this right there, making sure that you can't see it. I'm going to cut this off just a little bit. Okay. Add this. And we're going to add this cute little bee right here. He's just kind of flying away. And because we've added him up here, you won't be able to see him. And now we need to add the inside of our card. So let's go ahead and open this up. And we've decided to add black and then crushed curry. This gives you plenty of room to write your thoughts to your family or your friends. And stay with us because we have 2 more cards to share with you. Okay, so look at this. What do you think about this? Love these Nouveau drops. It really makes that bee pop. You open it up. You can add a sentiment here if you want. You could add more flowers even on this side if you had some flowers right over here. So, because you don't want to see them through your lattice. Then you open it up and you have plenty of room to write across. Now I showed you this one with this beautiful thistle. Look at this. This is one that we added our speckles to. And we brought in the thistles on the top here. Really adds a new dimension to the card. And then we added this little half pocket and we put some seeds in there. How cute is that? You could do a sunflower and put sunflower seeds. You could also put chocolates. You could put a gift card as well. And finally, one of my favorites is this Wisteria Wishes stamp set that is going to be retiring, so I just had to use it again. I did use the happy birthday from our stamp set today. Look at that. Love this. Added the wisteria again, and then you open it. Take a moment, leave a comment. Which is your favorite? We would love to know. Do you prefer the bee, the thistle, or the wisteria card? We just want to say thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. We love our crafting friends and just appreciate you. We hope that you were inspired and you take a moment to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye-bye.